What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Year of the Vet, or welcome to Year of the Vet if this is your first time tuning in. My name is Robert Graves. I'm a 10-year Marine Corps vet myself. I'm a transition coach. I'm also the author of How to Grow a Beard, a military transition guide back into civilian life. And Year of the Vet is a platform that I created in order to bring to you, the listener, whether you're a veteran yourself, whether you're a family member or a friend of a vet, or whether you're just going through a transitional period in your life, leaving a divorce or changing careers or leaving school. And the purpose of Year of the Vet is to bring to you individuals who've already gone through the process of transition, individuals who have the answers to the questions that you may have, because everybody has to get out of the military and you don't know how. It took me 6 years to figure out some of the stories and some of the information that I had to accumulate. And that's a long time. And if I can help you narrow that 6-year learning curve down to a week or one conversation, then that's the purpose. That's why Year of the Vet has been created. How do we do that? I bring to you individuals who've gone through it. I bring to you people that have fallen on their faces while in the middle of transition and had to learn the hard way. I bring to you people who've done it successfully and had no problems. But what all these people have in common is that they've done it. They've done it and they're successful in some type of way today, and they want to share their stories with you. Today's guest is special because he hasn't actually transitioned out of the service yet. However, there was a time where he was offered early retirement and went through the transition process. And through the transition process, he went through the TAMP and TAP classes, or whatever they're called now. He asked the questions, he learned the information, he tapped into some of his colleagues who had already gone through the transition process, and he learned about everything that he wanted to know about transition. With that information, he decided to write a book on transition, a book that he felt that he would want during his transition, and a book that has helped individuals through their own process of transition. And so I introduced to you today Travis Collier. Travis is currently serving in the Coast Guard as an officer. He is a keynote speaker, a transition coach and advisor, an organizational performance coach, and he is also the author of Command Your Transition, Declare Your Intent, Craft Your Mission, Make It on the Outside. And today we talk about some of the keynotes in his book today. Some of those keynotes being your 5, 10, 20-year choices. What is it that you're going to do? Are you going to re-enlist? Are you going to get out? And if you do make those choices, how do you choose to serve? What is it that you want to get out of the military? What is it that you're looking for? Have you done the networking? Have you done the proper planning? And have you set yourself up to get to a good duty station for your twilight tour? We talk about intention. What is it that you intend to do? Tying back into how do you choose to serve? But most importantly, we talk about the patience it takes with the mindset of for every $10,000 you want to make, it might take about a month. So if you want to make $80,000 in your next job, you might be searching for the next job for the next 8 months. These are the kind of things that Travis brings to the table, and I'm excited to bring a different perspective on transition through another transition coach for your overall well-being. So this conversation is a two-parter, and that's because we cover a lot of ground, because Travis and I are both very passionate about getting people out and into the jobs or the lives that they want on the outside of the military. And with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this first part and that you are left in a cliffhanger looking for the second part next week. I want to introduce to you Travis Collier, author of Command Your Transition, Declare Your Intent, Craft Your Mission, Make It on the Outside. Travis, I appreciate you coming on to Year of the Vet. I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you because you and I are, in a sense, cut from the same cloth when it comes to what we've chosen to do post-military. But before we even get into who you are post-military and what you're doing for our veteran family, tell us a little bit about Travis Collier.
Thank you, Robert. Right? First of all, thank you for the opportunity. It's great to have some time to talk to you at the end of the year and January quickly approaching, and I hope you had a great holiday.
Oh, I had a fantastic holiday. I had a fantastic holiday.
Good.
Thank you.
I hope Santa treated you well. And it's funny we still say that. We know there's no Santa, but we still hope Santa treats us well.
You know what? I have a 2-year-old, and he makes me believe in Santa. So even though I know that I'm the Santa, like, just do you have any kids?
I don't have any kids.
Do you have any nephews or nieces that you're close with?
They're older. I think my youngest nephew is maybe 8 now.
Okay. So you did get to see, like, when he was little, that Santa's coming. And, you know, there's 1,000 apps now. I mean, there's millions of apps, but I looked for a Santa app, and there was a phone call with Santa. And so I downloaded this app. Yeah, and I tested it out, and it's probably some 76-year-old man in underwear, but he's wearing the Santa suit and a beard. It's pre-recorded. Ho, 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 what's your name? And were you a good boy or a bad boy? Or what do you want for Christmas? And my son ate it up. Call Santa. Like, I swear to Buddha, like, every 6 minutes. Call Santa. So he made me believe. He made me believe all over again.
That's funny.
Super cute. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a wonderful holiday. How was your holiday?
It was good. I unfortunately had to work, but it was great. It's warm. Having any holiday in the city of New Orleans is always a little different. Any holiday, you name it, there's something unique that New Orleans does. Whether it's Easter, where there's a parade in the French Quarter, whether it's Mardi Gras that everyone always knows. Every holiday is a little special in New Orleans.
What's different about New Orleans Christmas that's not similar to, like, I don't know, a Minnesotan Christmas?
Well, there's a fair amount of events that go on. So City Park, which is as big as Central Park in New York City, has a lighting celebration. There's the standard hotels that have lightings that go on. There is Bourbon Street, which is still 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even in December, no matter whether it's warm or cold. There's the World War II Museum, where our unit had our morale Christmas party. So we got to walk through the World War II Museum and celebrate Christmas that way, which is pretty interesting.
Nice.
I do improv on the side. My improv graduation was the week of Christmas, so nothing like learning how to do stand-up comedy and improv to celebrate the holiday season.
How long have you been doing improv?
About a year and a half.
Good.
So you get all of that, and then you've got, the Saints-Panthers game was Christmas Eve. And so, living in New Orleans, you realize New Orleans is one of those cities that the NFL really orients the football season around to give New Orleans much-needed revenue. So New Year's Eve is Saints-Panthers at 3:25. So you got this amalgam of stuff that you can go in a 10-minute drive and go from your NFL game to Bourbon Street to Uptown relatively quickly. So and then on top of that, this year it was 70 degrees. So
are there
New Orleans is just a little different.
Free Christmas beignets?
No. Cafe Du Monde will not change their beignets for Christmas. They should, but they won't. They keep the same recipe. When you do come to New Orleans again, Morning Call is my personal favorite because they're open 24 hours, as well as Du Monde, but they're in City Park.
Yeah.
And the crowd's a little more local than the Du Monde crowd. So no, they don't. But some other places will do like the chocolate-filled beignets for Christmas, that kind of thing, which is pretty
that just
decadent.
Changed the game.
Yeah, decadent.
I didn't even know there was such thing. Yeah, of course, when we go there, people are like, you gotta go to Cafe Du Monde. And then you leave with, like, powdered sugar all over your face and your clothes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Give a pre-warning.
So and then there's also queen cakes are in the fall, winter. So I had only one queen cake this week, and then king cake season is about to start when carnival season starts. I actually spent today getting ready for carnival. So yeah, it's just the city never stops when it comes to a party.
Do you participate in all that stuff? Because I have friends that are, man, where are they from? It doesn't matter. They're like, I'd say about an hour and a half south. Anyway, but they have their own little Mardi Gras celebration in their little tiny city. So I know that like the whole state celebrates in their own areas. It's not just a New Orleans or a New Orleans thing. So that's what, trips me out, because that's not California at all. I mean, I guess
no.
When it comes to like Cinco de Mayo, it's kind of like that, but not really for anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. So your friends will probably live in Houma or Morgan City, I'm guessing.
I know that it's going to pop into my head during our conversation, and then you're going to be like deep thought into something, and I'm going to say the city. and you're like, oh yeah. So.
Even Mobile celebrates Carnival a little bit, but it's more family oriented. So yeah, the Coast Guard actually has a float, and we're often sponsored to roll in some of the major parades. So this year in 16, I rolled Morpheus and Endymion, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. One of my friends, she came down with me from Charleston, and Endymion, just rolling Endymion was 7 hours.
Yeah.
Just rolling.
Oh, no.
So that doesn't count the 3 hours we spent waiting to roll, including lunch and setup and putting the beads away and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, Endymion turned into a 12-hour day.
Oh.
But it was so worth it.
On a float. Well, are you from Louisiana?
No, I'm from Georgia originally.
Okay.
So I'm from coastal southern Georgia, about an hour south of Savannah and hour north of Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm close to home, not close enough, and I'm okay with that. I keep my distance. New Orleans. So the Coast Guard. Talking about the service for a little bit. For the Coast Guard, New Orleans has a very storied image and mystique. When you hear New Orleans as a coastie, it's a very love-hate relationship. A lot of people come to New Orleans and are afraid of New Orleans, and a lot of people come to New Orleans and fall in love with New Orleans, never want to leave. So it depends on what your MOS is. If you're in, like my primary specialty is commercial vessel safety. So the Port of New Orleans is number 1, number 2 in the country, total tonnage for all the foreign vessel traffic that comes into the Mississippi River. Gotcha. So for what I do, New Orleans is a place I have to go to.
Gotcha. Well, Can you work at most ports, like Panama, or we have one here in Long Beach? I know there's a few in Florida. You're transferable, right? So
we are transferable. So the Coast Guard's weird in that we're kind of 3 things into one. So we are a military service. We are the 5th Armed Force, but we're also a law enforcement agency. So a lot of our statutory authorities for law enforcement, for maritime law enforcement, happen out of the Title 14 out of the U.S. Code, not Title 10. And so a lot of our authorities we can do in peacetime as well as times of war. So it's really interesting for that. And then on top of that, we're a regulatory body. So the Coast Guard writes the laws that govern shipping. So we write the laws that govern shipping construction, shipping service, and shipping and port facility security. So we've got these 3 things that merge together to make the Coast Guard a Coast Guard. And it's really interesting when you meet coasties in that you can meet a coastie who's never been to sea, because if they've been more on that regulatory side, they've never had to go to a float to promote or advance.
Gotcha.
Or, it's really interesting. Or you can meet a coastie who has done strictly law enforcement. And again, they will never possibly have to go afloat in a deep water naval sense to do law enforcement, because most of that is a coastal security mission. So, we're just like regular DOD. We do 3 to 4 year assignments all across the country. A float's 2 years for us usually, 3 if you're enlisted. And so New Orleans, I'll be here for 3 years. My next tour will be my Twilight Tour, and I hope to come out of the field and go into port facility evaluation overseas, to be stationed in either Alameda or Singapore, and then in my career in 2021. But my first assignment as an inspector in this commercial vessel safety industry was in Corpus Christi, Texas, from 2006 to 2009, and that was awesome. And I got, did grad school, did my paper.